Back at Braves spring training, Ben Ingram alongside Kevin McAlpin. Braves just lost to the Tigers 7-6 here at Champion Stadium on a day where Bryce Harper signed with the Philadelphia Phillies. So what we're understanding, Kevin, is 13 years, $330 million. Woo. And the largest contract in American sports history for a free agent. That goes to Bryce Harper. So a few things I want to discuss today. Number one, we'll talk about Braves, where they are with some of their pitchers, because there is some injury news for some of these guys. But let's quickly address the division top to bottom. We knew this division was significantly better for 2019. Nationals add Patrick Corbin and a bunch of other names as well. We know what the Mets have done with Robinson Cano and others. Braves add Josh Donaldson, Brian McCann. And the Phillies had already made some moves as well with JT Realmuto and others. But they land the whopper of the offseason with Bryce Harper. He stays in the division. And this division in 2019 is slam-packed with talent.
Yeah, it is. The division that was already very challenging. We knew it was going to be a tough one. But now it gets even tougher. And you can see the impact that Bryce Harper has on the Philadelphia Phillies been already. In Las Vegas, the Phillies were right around 85 wins as their over-under. They're already up to 89.5. So 4.5 wins they jump with Bryce Harper going to Philadelphia. And finally, our long saga, the long national nightmare is over. We don't have to talk about where Bryce Harper is going to go anymore. Now the Braves just have to figure out how to beat him in the Phillies when they face him 19 times a year.
Well, it's still nothing new with facing Bryce Harper that many times a season. It's just new uniform that he'll be wearing. He's going to be wearing the red of the Phillies rather than the red of the Nationals. Now that that domino has fallen, we've seen Machado and Harper both sign. Keuchel, Kimbrel still out there. Do you expect them to go in the next week or so?
I do. I think, again, when you're talking about pitchers, it's so important for them to be in camp, to get acclimated, to get their reps, and get ready for the season. So I do think this could start the wave of guys starting to sign here. And again, you're getting close. You're a month to the day away from the opening of the regular season. That's 4 weeks from today. Braves will be in Philly. And how about that for a storyline now? The Braves will get their first look at Bryce Harper on his new ball club in Philly. But I do think, as far as Kimbrel's concerned, I know there was some conflicting reports. Would he sit out the season? I don't see that being in play whatsoever. I just don't see how that could happen, and his agent has refuted that report. Keuchel as well. You got to get to a point where you build up, you get enough starts under your belt where you can go 100 pitches when you get to the regular season. So I do think this will start a domino effect, and I think those guys could all start signing here maybe in the next couple of days.
All right, so that's news within the division. Let's shift gears to Braves news. We got some news earlier today that Mike Folty is battling elbow soreness. He's day-to-day, so we'll shut it down for a little while. He did say that if this was the regular season, he'd be out there.
Right.
But given that it's spring training, he's going to take it easy a few days. What does that mean for him in the opening day starting position?
Well, we'll know more on Saturday. He's going to meet with the Braves team physician, head physician, Dr. Gary Laurie, this weekend on Saturday. So I think we'll have a better idea. More than likely, this sounds like the Braves are really just erring on the side of caution right now. While nothing's official as far as Mike Folty starting opening day, I think we can all read between the lines that he's going to be the guy in the season opener. So you don't want to take your opening day starter and throw him out here on a Friday in March the 1st. You're going to shut him down for a couple of days and just make sure he's okay. This is an issue that he's dealt with in the past. Last year, he said he pitched a number of starts with some soreness in the elbow. Think back to 2016, he actually went on the DL in June or July of 2016 with some elbow soreness, and that's when we saw Bud Norris jump into the rotation. So I don't think this is anything for a major cause for concern right now. Again, you still have 4 weeks to go until the opener. Plenty of chances for him to get his reps. But I do think it's something you and I noticed calling the game in West Palm Beach over the weekend. The velo was 93-94. And we kind of looked at each other, and you can't always trust these stadium radar guns during spring training, but certainly the velo was down a couple of ticks from what we're used to seeing from Folty in the upper 90s. So we'll have a better idea, but I'm thinking this is just a scenario where they're going to shut him down for a couple of days, let it cool down a little bit, and get him back out there next week.
All right, so that's the news on Mike Folty. As far as a few other guys are concerned, Mike Soroka threw a side session, actually threw from flat ground, I should say, yesterday. We will see more of him. Had a difficult time getting his shoulder loose, so good to know that he was throwing yesterday and everything feels fine with him. Luis Gohara experiencing some soreness as well, and Kevin Gausman is easing into things. So right off the bat, that's 3 or 4 pitchers that have had a few hurdles to clear, and it seems like everything is okay, but you'd like to see those guys out there on the field pretty soon.
Yeah, and I think we will. And again, with a guy like Gausman, a little bit of shoulder discomfort, he's not concerned. The team's not concerned. They're taking it slow. We haven't seen Julio Teheran in a Grapefruit League game yet. He threw on a backfield here yesterday. So Teheran's coming along as well. Nothing to be concerned about there with his health. So, some of those guys we haven't seen yet, I don't think anybody is at the point where the Braves are really getting worried about their status. I think the only one really you could rule out for opening day would probably be Mike Soroka. I just don't know he's going to have enough time to build things back up where he's throwing live BPs and facing hitters and getting into games to be ready by March the 28th. But he could be a guy we could see middle of April, late April. And again, he's got to stay ready because the Braves, we saw it last year, bringing guys up and down and getting spot starts here and there. They're going to need Mike Soroka sooner than later.
Well, with the status of young pitchers, Touki Toussaint had a rough day today. Went one inning against the Tigers, gave up a 3-run home run to Dustin Peterson, hit a batter, walked a couple as well, faced 9 batters altogether, and gave up 5 earned runs in the first inning. We'll see Bryce Wilson go tomorrow against the Toronto Blue Jays, and another look at a young arm for the Braves. So from Brave Spring Training, that's the latest here in Lake Buena Vista. News around the division, it gets tougher as Bryce Harper is now a Philadelphia Philly. So we'll talk to you soon. For Kevin, I'm Ben, and you're watching 680 The Fan's coverage of Atlanta Braves Spring Training.